News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
News Talk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
An agreement to be announced today between the County Attorney's Office and the Department of Justice. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Tuesday, June 10th, 2014. A spectacular day in western Montana. Beautiful blue sky and sunshine. And right now we have 46 degrees in Missoula. Your newscast sponsored by Dr. Troy Doxey, the friendly team at Chiropractic Works, dedicated to chiropractic solutions. Give them a call, 728-0222. U.S. Department of Justice and Missoula County have reached a settlement in the agency's investigation into the way the county attorney's office decides whether to prosecute sexual assault cases. The agreement, to be announced today, comes 2 years after the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division announced it was going to investigate the way Missoula Police, University of Montana Campus Police, and the county attorney's office handles such cases. The law enforcement agencies reached agreements in May of 2013 that called for new policies and training. County Attorney Fred Van Valkenburg, though, had refused to cooperate, questioning whether the DOJ had the authority to investigate his office. He even went so far as to sue the Department of Justice. A news conference is scheduled for 11 o'clock this morning to announce the agreement. County commissioners are scheduled to approve the agreement before the news conference. A Missoula woman called police over the weekend to report that she had been raped by an acquaintance. Public Information Officer Travis Welsh says the woman called police Saturday to report the sexual assault.
A 36-year-old female reported that she was raped in her residence by a 34-year-old male acquaintance. It actually occurred on the 6th of June at about 2 a.m.
Welsh says the police department's Special Victims Unit has made a positive difference in the way sexual assault victims are being treated and interviewed.
The soft room that we're using in some cases is a lot more comfortable. It's not quite as intimidating, and I think we're seeing that, when victims do come in to meet with us, they're able to do that and not feel that intimidation factor.
The rape charge is still under investigation by detectives with the Missoula Police Department. A recently released audit by the Veterans Administration of Montana's Fort Harrison Clinic found that the average wait time for vets there was over 47 days. Now, that's more than 3 times the 14-day goal set by the VA. The news prompted stern responses from Montana's congressional delegation. First up, Senator John Tester.
47 days is too long for anyone to wait, much less a veteran who sacrificed for our freedoms. Today's report shows that once veterans get in the door at the VA, they get good care. However, much more needs to be done to increase their access. I will keep working to address the systemic issues preventing veterans from getting the care that they've earned, while also making sure the VA has the resources it needs. We must live up to the commitment to our men and women who served our nation.
Tester's fellow Democratic Senator John Walsh said the Obama administration was, quote, out of both time and excuses for the lack of oversight and widespread abuse that plagued the services our men and women have earned, end quote. Congressman Steve Daines said, quote, this audit confirms the existence of a problem that the VA has known about for far too long. Our veterans are being forced to wait too long to receive the care they need and the services they deserve. And the VA audit also says facilities at Fort Harrison and in Billings are on a list of sites requiring further investigation. It did not list wait times for the Billings clinic. A 26-year-old Helena man was arrested over the weekend for allegedly firing a gun at several Lewis and Clark County deputies who were performing a welfare check. The Independent Record reports family members had asked deputies to check on Christopher John Duncan late Saturday. Court records say he had recently been released from the Montana State Hospital, and he told family members he wanted a law enforcement officer to shoot him because he was too afraid to shoot himself. Court records say responding officers heard 3 shots fired, at least one that passed close by a deputy. Sheriff Leo Dutton says as a SWAT team arrived, Duncan rushed out of the trees near the residence. He was arrested shortly after midnight on suspicion of 3 counts of assault with a weapon. Back in April, the city of Missoula sent out notices to property owners asking them to either support or protest a perpetual public safety and justice district. Here's City Clerk Marty Rabine with the update on that effort.
The mayor and city council have proposed a perpetual public safety and justice district in order to fund some specific public services related to police, fire, and our justice system here at the city of Missoula.
Rabine says the majority of the owners of each property who oppose must sign the form, while those who approve have 2 options.
If they want to support, they don't have to do anything, or they can check the support box and send it in. Or if folks are opposed to the creation of the district, they would need to sign that protest form, have it signed by the people who are listed on the deed for the property, and send it into my office by June 20th at 5 p.m.
Forms that are not returned to the city will be counted automatically as supporting the perpetual taxing district. Now, there will be a public meeting in July to discuss the findings. Property owners in Stevensville became very concerned a few weeks ago when the city proposed a new ordinance that would have limited the height of trees in a 2-mile area around the airport to just 5 feet without a permit. That would be a shrub. The ordinance also limited the way that people could use their land. Mayor Gene Mimak admits the language was too broad.
In putting out the first draft, the town used the broadest language possible to describe the area and possible regulations within that area as a review. And that, of course, stimulated substantial public input at our first public hearing, and also some calls to the county commissioners and others about the broadness of the ordinance.
Mimak says the town has gone back to the drawing board now to decrease the number of residents affected to about 25 and to make sure the restrictions are not egregious.
What we're looking at is we've restricted the area of regulation to a very specific area of 3,000 feet from the end of each runway. In that zone, we still require a permit. If, in fact, you want to plant a tree that is expected to grow in excess of 30 feet, or you're building a structure that is in excess of 30 feet.
The new proposal is available on the city's website, and a public hearing will occur Thursday at the Stevensville City Hall at 6 p.m. News Talk Times, 6:38.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Starting out on the warm side in the 50s right now in the Missoula Valley. And we'll warm up to about 75 as we get into the afternoon. Increasing clouds, but little to no rain expected, even though there will be some extra moisture in the area. I'm meteorologist Matt Gray for NBC Montana.
Man, a stellar day in western Montana. Just gorgeous blue sky and sunshine. Couldn't ask for a nicer morning in western Montana. We're sitting at 46 degrees and sunny here in western Montana.
Information never stops. The news you need right now. More Montana news headlines. News Talk KGVO. Depend on it.
Sponsored by Bitterroot Motors, they've got the 2014 Ford Escape all-wheel drive. A compact SUV gets 30 miles per gallon and $1,500 in rebates. U.S. wildlife officials have told a federal judge they expect to take until early 2018 to complete a long-delayed recovery plan for imperiled Canada lynx. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service disclosed that timetable yesterday as part of a lawsuit brought by environmentalists in Montana. Lynx were designated a threatened species back in 2000. Since then, federal officials have repeatedly missed their own deadlines to start work on a plan to help the snow-loving big cats. In the lower 48 states, lynx are rarely seen across the 14-state range that includes portions of the Northeast, the Rocky Mountains, the Great Lakes, and the Cascade Range of Washington and Oregon. UM School of Journalism students Chris Allen and Ruth Eddy have returned victorious from the 54th National Hearst Journalism Awards in Washington, D.C. Allen commented on what it was like to win what is sometimes referred to as the College Pulitzer Prize.
I was first and she was second. I mean, it was like Montana representing, it was awesome. People who are in the radio business are starting to pay attention to Montana because I think we've got a really good program here and there's some good faculty there. People like Jewel Banville are really pushing for radio. So it was just a really great experience. I learned a lot. I met a lot of really great people who are also in radio. It was fun to just nerd out, but talking about radio.
The final challenge of the competition was a 2-minute news story on how politicians speak to the people. Allen says he decided to focus on the use of YouTube videos after he saw a video ad by congressional candidate Matt Rosendale shooting down a drone. Department of Public Health and Human Service officials say that more than 1 in 4 adult Montanans report having arthritis. DPHHS Montana Arthritis Program Director Heather Beck said there are a whole bunch of programs going on throughout the state to help people with arthritis. Beck says DPHHS is working with 3 programs in particular: the Arthritis Foundation Exercise Program, the Walk with Ease Program, and Stanford University's Chronic Disease Self-Management Program.
The Arthritis Foundation Exercise Program is a community-based recreational program which was developed by the Arthritis Foundation. The program's demonstrated benefits include improved functional ability, decreased depression, and increased confidence in one's ability to exercise. So these classes usually last between 8 and 12 weeks and are offered 2 to 3 times per week.
Beck adds that anyone can participate in the programs that occur as many as 35 sites across the state.
We have some at physical therapy departments, senior centers, churches. I mean, you name it, and we probably have a class there.
Depending upon the site, Beck says the program may or may not charge a fee. Our News Talk time now is 6:18.
News Talk KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
We will end up having another warm day, not quite as warm as yesterday in the Missoula Valley, up to 75 degrees as we head into your evening. We'll see increasing cloud cover as well, but a very slim to no chance of a sprinkle. I'm meteorologist Matt Gray for NBC Montana.
All right, Matt, thanks. Appreciate that. And right now, beautiful sunshine, 46 degrees in Missoula.